Hello, my name is Aditya, and I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself and take you through the story of who I am, right down to how I fit into the role of Junior Communication Specialist at Electrolux. Just to start off, I am 23 years old, and I have always been driven by curiosity and purpose in life. I remember being this very, very curious kid who always had so many questions in the class, who would always raise his hand too many times and would get thrown out for it. I remember being this kid who always wanted to break open things just to see how they were made, just to see what made them tick and to put them back together to make them work better. In this journey of curiosity, I was having a parallel journey of purpose because ever since I was little, I remember wanting to know why I was doing what I was doing. I always needed to know that I was contributing to something bigger and to something better. And these two journeys of curiosity and of purpose have led me to have so many great experiences so far. I grew up in a middle class Indian household, and my parents didn't come from a lot. And they always told me and my brother that it's really important that you use education knowledge as a platform to give back to the society. They always encourage us to go beyond our boundaries, to think outside the box, to have uncomfortable experiences, as many and as much as we could. And one of these experiences was the catalyst for everything that I'm doing today, and the reason why I'm actually applying to Electrolux. In 2016, I went on a volunteer exchange to China where I taught mentally disabled and autistic kids. And when I was there, I was interacting with them personally and with their parents, and I realized that I was in the middle of this huge technological paradox where China was this very technologically advanced country, but at the same time, there were so many people who were in dire need of technology, like these mentally disabled kids, who were not getting the advantage of what was being developed. So technically, the solutions that were being developed were not being developed for the people who needed it the most. And as an engineering student back then, this was very confusing for me. As I came back to my home country, I took a step back to realize where was my education going and what was my knowledge getting me to. That is when I realized what I am most passionate about in life. I am passionate about creating impact through technology. As an engineer, I know the importance of technology and I know how much hard work it is to create something of that beauty, to create something of that complexity. But as someone who has seen these situations in close up, I know that it's also important as to how these technologies are being used and whether these technologies are used by the people who really, really, really need them. That is when I decided that that is my purpose. That is what I'm most passionate about, is to fulfill these basic gaps in people's lives that that can be fulfilled with technology and with solutions that can make them happier, that can make them feel better, that can move their day forward. And that is the next part of my story, is that is where Electrolux comes in. I grew up in India, and I was always surrounded by a million people, and there were so many possibilities of growth, there were so many possibilities of opportunity because India is this huge socio-economic landscape. But there's something weird that I noticed growing up, was that everybody related their success, their growth, and their stability in family to a brand or to a product, and more often than not, it was Electrolux. I remember in the 90s, Electrolux refrigerators were the thing in India, and I was one of the generations who grew up with an Electrolux refrigerator in their household. I remember that that refrigerator was the center of our household because we were so amazed by what it could provide us, what that appliance could do for us. That is the story of millions of Indian households, and not just Indian households, but millions of households across the world for the last 40 to 50 years now. That is how I have grown up seeing Electrolux. I have grown up seeing Electrolux being this huge agent for change, being being this huge presence in people's lives that is actually helping them move forward. And it directly relates to what I am passionate about, solving people's problems through technology. That is why I want to work at Electrolux. That is why I want to work and contribute to shaping world for the better. And as a kid, when I saw this happen, when I saw people recognize their success and their family life and everything that they built up around one brand, around one logo, I knew that I wanted to work at a great company. But looking as to how Electrolux has grown over the past 40 to 50 years, from going to an appliance maker to being a major force in society, to being a major presence in the society, to having these initiatives of integrating girls into engineering, to having these initiatives of reducing food waste, This is something that I really, really closely relate to, because I know that the technologies that are being developed by Electrolux now are not just being implemented, but Electrolux is doing far more to make the world a better place. And I want to be there. I want to be a part of this change, and I want to contribute as much and as 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 majorly as I can. I know that it's not going to be an easy journey, and I know that I will have to learn a lot. This is going to be a learning curve, but I'm ready to take it because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I really, really deep down care about. As for the role of the junior communication specialist, I believe that at the moment I have this perspective of wanting to be a part of a larger narrative, of wanting to be a part of the storytelling of what Electrolux has been, what it is becoming, and how it is moving forward in the society, how it is helping people realize their dreams, how it is helping people move ahead with their daily lives. I believe that the right messaging and the right kind of storytelling is really, really important to spreading the message of what Electrolux is doing is to shape living for better. I want to be there to help them do that. I want to be a part of a powerful message that I will probably be a part of helping create every day throughout the work that we do in Electrolux. And I want to be a part of a creative and an analytical environment where I get to work with powerful teams who are based on growth, who are focused on growth, but at the same time will give me enough leverage and enough courage to learn by myself. I know that this is going to be a two-way street, and I know that it is going to be as much giving as it is going to be taking. And I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to have a learning curve where I get to learn as much as possible from my colleagues, from the situations, especially from HR business partners and the director of communication that I may probably be in contact with. I'm ready to work in cross functional teams where they're going to teach me so much more about disciplines that I may not usually have access to or have working knowledge of. That is why I want to have this role of junior communication specialist. As to the skills, I believe that I have this very analytical and detail oriented mindset, and I have this eye for detail that is really, really important when it comes to being on the creative side. As a kid, I grew up writing, and I was always engaged in very, very creative in very creative ventures, in the sense that I always wanted to be there to express a message. I always wanted to be there to have a clear outline, to have a clear outlook of where I was going, what I was doing, and what I wanted to express for myself. And I believe that this position will allow me to do that for Electrolux. This position will allow me to be a part of shaping that bigger message for Electrolux. I believe that I want to be a part of high performing teams, and looking at the experience that I have had in the past, working in the teams that I have had this experience of analyzing key performance indicators and knowing how to scale them up to grow and how to move towards the measure of successes that we have. I have this appreciation for excellence of craft that is really, really required in the creative fields. And in the end, I have this fluid and direct way of going about things that I believe is really important for project management and event management. In the end, I believe that it is my passion for what I do that most relates to the role that I'm going to have, and I'm ready to learn and grow as much as I can and as is possible in this role. Thank you so much.